In a bustling anthill nestled under a big maple tree, Ashley the ant stared up at the canopy, dreaming of the world beyond. She had read every crumb-sized map and listened to every elder's tale, but nothing satisfied her itch for discovery. One morning, with the dew still clinging to blades of grass, Ashley packed her explorer's pouch, thread scraps for rope, a thimble lid for shelter, and 3 sugar crystals for courage, and waved goodbye to the sleepy colony. Her tiny feet padded across the mossy forest floor as she marched toward the great root arch, the landmark that marked the beginning of her unknown journey. Birds chirped above, and the sunlight dappled like gold coins through the leaves. Ashley's first challenge appeared quickly, a muddy puddle with no obvious way across. Thinking fast, she found a curled birch bark boat, paddled with a twig, and crossed it while giggling at her reflection in the water. On the other side, she encountered an army of marching beetles in brass button armor. Ashley introduced herself with a polite bow. The beetle general grunted but let her pass, impressed by her bravery and ridiculous spectacles. Midday brought the Fern Valley, a humid green labyrinth. Ashley tiptoed along the twisting paths, dodging sticky spider threads and hopping over sleepy snails sunbathing on rocks. In the middle of Fern Valley, she discovered a glowing mushroom ring. Entranced, she danced a little jig inside, not knowing it would enchant her dreams that night, with visions of a crystal cave she'd never seen before. That night, under the broad leaf of a daisy, Ashley made camp. She nibbled on a sugar crystal, wrapped herself in leaf blanket, and watched fireflies blinking like stars. She missed her home, but adventure buzzed louder in her heart. The next morning, she climbed a towering dandelion to look ahead. From the top, the world looked enormous, a quilt of textures and colors. In the far distance, a glimmer hinted at something marvelous. Ashley adjusted her glasses and headed that way. By afternoon, she reached a babbling creek too wide to jump. Ashley built a zip line using a spider's silk strand she had carefully harvested days ago. With a deep breath, she zipped across, screaming joyfully the whole way. Landing in a patch of thyme and mint, she met a grumpy old worm named Wibble, who offered directions in exchange for a sugar crystal. Ashley obliged, chuckling as Wibble wriggled in satisfaction. Following Wibble's directions, Ashley crawled beneath a tangled root tunnel. There she found shimmering crystals, just like the ones in her dream, growing quietly in the dark, lit by glowing moss. She gasped at the beauty and tucked one tiny crystal into her pouch, promising to return it to the anthill elders as proof that stories could be real and dreams could be maps. Climbing out of the tunnel, Ashley found herself in a part of the forest she didn't recognize. The trees whispered differently. She took a wrong turn and ended up in a shadowy thicket where even birds refused to sing. Fear clutched her tiny legs. Ashley sat on a curled leaf, considering turning back. But then she remembered the crystal in her pouch, and the faces of younger ants who might one day dream as she had. Determined, she navigated through the brambles, using sunlight slivers as her guide, slowly making her way toward the familiar smell of maple bark and anthill earth. After a long trek, Ashley stumbled upon a trail of old leaf prints, her own from the day before. She was looping back home, not because she was lost, but because the journey itself was a circle. She followed her trail back across the creek, this time hopping a flat stone bridge, through Fern Valley, and past the beetle battalion, who saluted her with surprised antennae. Back at the great root arch, Ashley paused, looking back at the world she'd wandered. Her legs ached, her pouch was lighter, and her heart was heavier with stories. When she reached the anthill, the sun was dipping low. Ants gathered around as Ashley stood proudly on a pebble and pulled out the glowing crystal. Gasps and cheers echoed all around. Elder Grumblestick sniffed and declared it a miracle mineral, placing it in the center of the hall. Ashley beamed as young ants tugged at her legs, begging for stories. That night, Ashley slept on a soft bed of thistle threads, her pouch empty but her spirit full. She dreamed again of distant places and giggled in her sleep. Though she was home, Ashley knew her heart had grown too big to fit in one place. Her journey had changed her, not into someone else, but into more of who she already was.